Hi everybody, it's Rick Beal. It's a snow day in Maine, so I figured today might be a day that I could bring you some added value. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to talk today about the Homestead Exemption. What is the Homestead Exemption? Well, it's available to all Maine residents who have a primary residence here, and what it does is it knocks $20,000 off of your property's assessed value. So how do you go about getting the Homestead Exemption? Well, you're going to need two things. Number one, you're going to need this form right here. It's your tax bill. Mine happens to be from the town of Gorham. Number two, you're going to need this form over here, and that is from the state of Maine, and it is called the Application for Maine Homestead Property Tax Exemption. Okay, so where do you get that form? Well, you can get that from your town's website, or you can ask me, and I'm happy to get it to you. I can email it to you as an attachment right after I finish this video. Okay, so now that you've got this form, you need to fill it out, and there's some very basic questions. If you can answer that, then there you go. So why file for the Homestead Exemption? First of all, who's eligible? It's not income-based. Anybody can get the Homestead Exemption. Doesn't matter if your property's taxes are $1 million a year or $3,000 a year or less. Everybody's eligible, and you can get it for one property. So here are the questions. You need to answer all of these correctly. Number one, you're a permanent resident of the state of Maine. Number two, you've owned a home in Maine for the past 12 months. Now, it's okay if you haven't, because if you haven't filed the form now, it will kick in next year. And before I forget, the deadline is April 1st. So you'll want to get that in to your town's office in the next couple of weeks. Number three, you declare that the homestead is your permanent residence. If you can do that, then you move on to Section 2. Section 2, you name all the property owners that are on your tax bill right here. And then also your physical address and your mailing address. Then you move on to Section 3. There are 5 questions in Section 3. If you can answer any one of the 5 with a yes, then you have finished. And here are the 5 questions. Number 1, I file a Maine resident income tax return. Number 2, the address on my driver's license is the same as above in Section 2. Number 3, the legal residence on my resident fishing and/or hunting license is the same as the address I listed in Section 2. Number 4, I pay motor vehicle excise tax in this community. Or number 5, I'm a registered voter in this municipality. So if you can answer any of those 5 questions, you finish that, sign the form, bring it to your town, turn it into the assessing office, and starting with the 2018-2019 tax year, you will save up to $20,000 off of your house's assessed value. And for many people, their assessed value, their mill rate's $20, and so $20 and times 20,000 is $400. So if you're in your house for 5 years, 5 years times $400 is $2,000, 10 years, $4,000, and etc. So again, I hope that helps. That's going to save you some money. Nobody wants to pay more taxes than they have to. Go ahead and get the Homestead Exemption. If you need that form, please leave me a message here or contact me by phone or by text or by email. Thanks everybody, and